Okay. Welcome North Central and Southeast MTSS Cohort 3 and 4 coordinators to our meeting that we're doing virtually. And we are sorry that we can't be there with you in person, but we wanted to make sure that we provided this support to you, and we hope that you find it helpful. So we're going to start. There's some things that we would like you to do with our Welcome and Connect. We are so happy that you're here, first of all. And if you have any celebrations that you'd like to share, just let us know and we will share those out with the rest of the region. If there's some things that you'd like to celebrate, and we know that that you're doing some great work out there in the field, and we're excited about that. But if you have any particular celebrations that you'd like to share, just send them to either, if you're in the North Central, send them to Amy or I, or if you're in the Southeast, send them to Angie. And we will celebrate with you in that. And I didn't introduce, you all know us. It's Amy Miller, it's Angie Cloninger, and it's me, Angel Batts. So we're here with you this morning just to provide you some support. Now, the next thing on our agenda is our March newsletter. Just make sure that when that is sent out from us to you guys, that you guys look at it. It'll be packed with some great information, some great resources, and some announcements some things that are coming up soon. So just make sure that you look at that and take a deep dive into that newsletter to get all the resources that you need. And also, we have a space here for implementation tools, share out, and discussion. We can just roll that up into our celebration. So if there's any tools that you're using, any resources that are really working well for your district team or your district or charter, make sure that you share them with us, and we'll share them with the rest of the cohorts so that they know what's going on and what's actually working out there in the field.
And Angel, I'm going to remind the Southeast that we have that shared Google folder that we want you to, I want to make sure you're getting in there, and then you're not only sharing with other people, but you're taking a look at what other people are putting in there. So I'm just going to remind you that's what we've got that for. So I think that'd be a good space to share any sort of implementation tools as well.
Thank you for that reminder, Angie, because I do believe we have one as well, don't we, Amy Miller?
Yes.
So all of those celebrations I asked you to email, just put them in that Google folder and everyone will see them, and we appreciate that.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Great. So I'll go ahead with the next section of the agenda is around, it's getting to be that time again for SAM administration, the self-assessment of MTSS. So we have a few tools that we already had for you to use with the SAM, and then we also have some new things that you can use in your analysis of the SAM as well. So just a reminder that the SAM window, where you can administer the SAM as kind of an informal tool at any time you want, but the formal administration window is between really March and June. We'd like it done. We have March and May on here. Most schools find it easiest to get it done before that EOG time coming. And just a reminder that it is and it's supposed to be a facilitated self-assessment. So we'd like it if someone from the district team came in and assisted the school in their completion of the SAM. So first off, the first thing that you see linked here in the agenda or in the participant notes is the SAM review document. Thought I opened this, but maybe I did not. I did. Okay, so the SAM review document has just some basic information. This is always nice to go ahead and review again, and it's got lots of things linked in here. So first off, what we have on here is what is the SAM? This links to an infographic and a screencast that describes the SAM. Then the next link is also the PDF version of the complete SAM. So if you remember, we access the SAM through the app to complete it. But if you need a PDF version that your schools and facilitators can use with the school team, then the PDF version is linked here for your convenience. And it's also within the live binder. Here again is how you access the SAM. So if you haven't probably gone into the SAM app since last year, then you may need this directions for logging in. You will need your NCID to log in. So we have a guide for logging into it and a video that accompanies that as well. And then this is the actual address of the SAM app. So I have the SAM app open here. So if you remember correctly, once you get in, it'll ask for your NCID. And then to administer that SAM with a school, you just read this welcome measure and then say start SAM, and it'll take you to the page to administer that SAM with your school. Okay. So then this is just a little bit more about how to administer the SAM, and always making sure you communicate that it's not meant to be evaluative. It's meant to just give schools and district next steps in their implementation of a multi-tiered system of support. And then how we administer it, when it should be administered. This is a little tool that allows you to figure out how you're going to get it administered to all your schools if you need to use that. And then this is actually something that we recommend just kind of keeping with coordinators. We've shown this before, but it's the scoring summary. So this tells how the SAM is actually scored and how we develop these levels. So if you remember, we have 3 implementation levels for each critical component that you see here. And then you'll also get a percentage of implementation for each critical component. So these levels are gathered by the scoring of the SAM having a total score component and then some weighted scoring. And so what you'll find is that some schools, even if they have 80 or 85% implementation on a critical component, they may still be not implementing because they haven't had positive scoring on all of those non-negotiable items. So this explains all of that. And it also lists out those items that are non-negotiable or have minimum thresholds, specific items. Again, we probably wouldn't share this with everybody across your district or anything, but if you get questions as coordinators, it's a good thing to have on hand so that you can explain that scoring. And then we have some after the SAM resources, like how you generate reports within the app, videos around the notes, and kind of what you can do after that SAM. So that's that first document that you see linked in the agenda here. The next thing that we do have for you, so this is a video, and these are some resources that we just developed around analyzing your data after the SAM is given. So I'm going to actually click on this district data evaluation folder. I think I actually opened it over here, but I can't see it. Yes, I did. We'll just have it open twice. Okay, so this folder here has some different resources, and we have uploaded some of these onto the live binder as well. So these resources have to do with how can you, after the SAM is administered, be able to guide a school or a district team through analyzing that data. So what you'll see here is just a protocol that we have that helps you know which reports to run in SAM, in the SAM app, in order to then figure out kind of how can we problem solve implementation at a district level, and then we have the same protocol for school level. So I'm going to show you right here, this video is about 12 minutes, and it walks you through how those two protocols work and how you gather that data in the SAM app as well. Ladies, should I just play this video? I see not.
Yes, that sounds great.
I'm just going to play this video now, and I will pause when you want to give any kind of feedback for me, my sweet colleagues that I see on here. Okay.
Hello, this is to guide you. Through a couple of resources we've developed around district level and school level analysis of your SAM results. SAM, again, is your self-assessment of MTSS. So first off, this is just a short recording, and hopefully these protocols will be somewhat self-explanatory for your use. But if we go in, what you're provided, and these are also uploaded to the live binder, is first off a district level analysis protocol. So if we go into the district level analysis, the idea of this is that if you have administered the SAM with a critical mass of schools in your district, then you'll have some district aggregate data. Right here on the protocol, you'll see what the district implementation averages that you can obtain through the SAM app. So if we look across this, you see the critical components. And then what the SAM app will give you on the district level report is the percentage of implementation across current school year and the previous school year. So you can use this currently to make some implementation planning decisions, or you can wait until you've administered the SAM for the 17-18 school year. It'll just average out the percentage of implementation across all the schools who participated in the SAM and across each of those critical components. So to gather that within the SAM app, I'll move over here. And you can see as we log into the SAM at a district level, then you can go to this Reports tab. On the Reports tab, I'll go ahead and just select a district that I know has done a critical mass of SAM implementation for last school year. For you, you're probably going to select this school year if it's after you've already completed the SAM with your schools, but if you wanted to start right away, you would just change the year to 16-17. We're going to go to the district aggregate report on the left-hand side. Okay, so now that we're in the district aggregate report, you'll see that table that we have listed in the protocol. So what we recommend at the district level is that you look across those critical components. We all know that we can't boil the ocean all at once, so we can look across these critical components and be able to see indicating what's the critical component with the highest percentage of implementation. So if we look at this school year for this data, we can see 3-tiered instruction intervention. So I'd include that. I'd write that on here. This is a very paper and pencil data analysis protocol. But of course, you can tweak it however works for you. And then we recommend looking across that lowest percentage of implementation. So if we look at that, we see data evaluation. So from here, you have some options. What we recommend is you either select that component with the highest percentage of implementation to work on district-wide. This may be if you want to go for the option that has, I'm sorry, it was communication and collaboration. If you want to go for that option that has the a quick win. So there may be some items within communication and collaboration as our highest item that we can quickly tweak and be able to see impact across our district quickly. Or you can focus on the lowest item, lowest critical component for implementation planning. So the data evaluation. So you may see that, okay, we really need to do some work in this critical component, so I'm going to focus on that. The important piece here, however you go about it, is that if you're looking at a district-wide view, we don't want you to try to do everything at once. So we want you to be somewhat strategic in how you focus on that district-wide data. After that point, when you decide, okay, which one are we going to focus on? We're going to go to the LEA Export screen to get some very specific, and it has all those steps in here for you, some very specific item level data for that section. So I'm not going to go through every piece of how you get this out of the app, but what we've tried to do in here is screenshot exactly how you would export this data, and it's through the LEA Export screen. So that's what you'll see right here. It says LEA Export. Within this, you can get all kinds of SAM data for your district or for an individual school. So basically, the LEA Export allows you to export any type of data in any way that you want to. So what you see in here is that we're going to filter it by section. Within that section is the same as critical component for these purposes. You'll see that then after we choose section on the LEA Export, we can choose which critical component we want to focus on. So what this will do at the district level is allow you to export all the items under that critical component for all your schools. So for example here, if we've applied and we're going to look at data evaluation, what it will give you is this sorting of all the questions. We're looking at three-tiered instruction and intervention actually on this example. It'll give you all the questions that have to do with three-tiered instruction and intervention, all of those, and then it'll give them for each school in your district. If we sort by the question number, which is very easy, you just click on the top of that column and you can sort it by question number. You can see that then each school's response to that question. So overall, you can look to see what are the majority of my schools responding to that question? Is there a trend? And is that something we can impact district-wide? So we ask that you then focus in on that one component and look at the scores across the schools on that question number, on those question numbers. And then we just ask some questions. Is there consistency across this item that can be impacted district-wide? And then you take whichever critical component you decided to focus on, and all we're doing here, we don't want you to do this for everyone because you get very tired, but if you're focusing in on one critical component, so for example, the three-tiered instruction intervention model, these are the question numbers, and what we're asking, what you can do as a way to analyze this data is you just insert kind of what's the most common score. So when I looked at that data for this component, if I look back up here, I can see the most common score on this particular item, item 33, is a 1, indicating that they're not yet really implementing that. And it'll actually tell you kind of what that question asks and then what that specific item on the rubric is. After you've determined, okay, a lot of my schools are functioning at a level 1 on item 33, right here, we can say, okay, 1 would be the most common one. And then you use this blank over here to really kind of analyze if my schools are functioning at a level 1. If I go back to my SAM rubric, pull up my SAM rubric from the Live Binder. We can see on this SAM rubric, what does that mean to be functioning at a level 1 on here? So since the SAM is implemented as a rubric, we can look across and say, if I'm a level 1 on item 33, go all the way down to item 33. So level 1 on item 33 indicates that at tier 3, or my intensive behavior and social emotional practices, really we have either, the student, we are coming up with strategies that are based on student needs. Maybe they're not aligned with tier 1 and tier 2, or they're not linked to academic content, or we're not really using assessment sources to link directly to the skills taught. So we can look what's going on at that point in the rubric and then make some decisions about how can we impact this item district-wide. So as we look at that district level analysis, again, we're just focusing in on 1, maybe 2 critical components, and then really diving in to say what's the most common score for the items on those, and then using that SAM rubric, what could be some next steps to impact that district-wide. If you wanted to do this work with a school, we have a very similar school level analysis protocol for school level data. So on the school protocol, it's very simple to go ahead in the app and pull that aggregate report. So if I went in to pull that aggregate report, I'm going to go to my school summary tab. I'm going to show you from this point. I'm going to go to that school summary tab, and the school summary is going to show us exactly what the level of implementation and the percentage of implementation at that school's level is. Again, the same type of analysis. We pick either the one with the highest implementation percentage or the lowest is what we recommend. So you can determine, it depends on your philosophy. Do you want to go for something that's a quick win, or do you want to go for something that's the highest need? And then we'd walk that school team through. They can go to their school summary report. It's very simple to see across there what level were we scoring on each of those items. So we focus in on one of those critical components and say, okay, how do we use this data about where we are currently and look across that SAM rubric to say, are there some items that we can impact with just a few implementation steps? So for example, if we look across leadership, we can look and see what is our current score on some of those leadership components. Where are we currently? This one says we're operationalizing for item 1. We can go back to that SAM rubric here. Look at item 1, and when we're operationalizing, we know that the principal is actively involved and supports the leadership team. Maybe the next piece to get to optimizing is we need to get leadership actively supporting database problem solving use. So that's a very concrete step that we can take and insert on our protocol to say, how are we going to impact this? So that is the 2 protocols that we wanted to present you with. Again, on the live binder, these are available under the Measuring Implementation tab. Here's the whole SAM, what you saw here, the rubric is here. We also have some SAM information for stakeholders, a SAM infographic, and then these district level and school level analysis protocols. That's it for now. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please let your coordinator know.
Okay. You may have gotten a little hearing of some cats fighting in the background at the end of that video. That was just to mark the upcoming rollout of eCats. Okay, so everything that was in there, again, is in this district data evaluation folder, including that video, too.
You know what, Amy, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think the key here and the main message we would want to send to everyone is the need to prepare ahead of time. And so you made a good point in that it's been a while since they've probably conducted the SAM. And even I think our team, we often go back ourselves just to familiarize ourselves with all the resources that are there, and never mind the SAM itself. So there's a lot of really good pieces of support, and I think it just will most likely just take time to sit there and review everything that you have available and determine what you need, and really think through the planning of this. And that's something I know we all talked about last year around this time as well, making sure that you and your district team or your LEA team have spent time really thinking about how you're going to share the information and communicate with the schools ahead of time, making sure they have that PDF in their hands so they can become familiar with the items. And there's some really great suggestions around that in a lot of these documents that you just went over, Amy. But I think that in itself is key. You don't want to be overwhelmed or confused the day of. And there's a lot of support that I think can keep that from happening, but it does take time, I think, on our end to prepare for the administration of that.
I think also them knowing and understanding the fact that it's not an evaluative, it's not a gotcha, it's really for them to plan. And I think that video gives a lot of great information on ways that can happen in those schools and in your district. So I think that's a really good message to convey to those schools that we're not coming in to evaluate you. It's not a gotcha, but we want to be here to use this as a support to help continue the work. And they give you some celebrations as well. So you can see some things that you've really done well and some growth that you've made if that SAM was done last year.
Yeah, I think that's the most important piece, just and also making sure as district coordinators that we're always never just handing this to a school to do on their own. And what I think I heard it from probably I think it was one of your coordinators last year, Angie. I don't remember if they were cohort 3 and 4 or cohort 1 and 2, talking about how this going out to a school to administer the SAM is really another opportunity for PD, because you get a chance to really talk them through implementation. So, okay, boy.
Thanks, Amy, for going through that. That was a lot of good information.
Good job.
Yeah, you're still awake. We're still here. Welcome
Yeah.
back. Okay, so the last thing that we wanted to go forward with was just to make sure that everyone got the information and understood some of the updates regarding positive behavior intervention and support, PBIS, and the recognition that will take place next fall in November. Here is the memo that just came out. It should have gone to EC directors, PBIS coordinators, PRC 29 contacts, and MTSS coordinators. Angel, do you want to would you like to talk through this part? We didn't talk about it. Would you want me to
I can talk through it as long as you, and if I miss anything, you guys just jump in and fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
So the purpose behind this recognition change and those timelines is really to decrease the burden on the field. We want to make sure that we're making things easier and not more difficult or convoluted. So the changes are listed here, and I'll just go through them through the way that we function through systems, data, and practices. So in our systems piece, the school teams, you no longer have to meet one time per month, but they do have the minimum of 9 meetings per year. So that is still required. Also in the data piece, that office discipline referral data does not have to be submitted in that data summary sheet. This information should be gathered in the application, but it does not have to be, it needs to be reported, but it does not have to be submitted on that summary sheet. Is that correct? Am I saying that?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. All right. There's no longer requirement for the SET or the BSET to be administered, but we are asking that those district PBIS coordinators review, verify, and approve the TFI scoring, and that there's a facilitated walkthrough that takes place with that TFI. So that's going to take the place of that BSET and the SET administration that goes on throughout the year. Let's see. If you're seeking exemplar status, you no longer have to submit a PowerPoint in order to do that, and that all information needs to be submitted. Let's see, information on the data sources and improvement of data trends will be submitted within the annual PBIS recognition application. So you'll just gather that information and put it in the application. There's no longer a need to put a PowerPoint attached to that. And lastly, there's no longer requirement for we talked about that already, the SET and the BSET. So the application is going to come out on May the 1st of this year, along with a video highlighting the changes and the new application. And the application is going to be due July 1st to your district and school coordinators, and you'll be notified electronically September 1st, 2018 on your recognition status. And that application should be turned into your district coordinator, correct?
They'll go through the app, the same.
Okay, that's right.
Just the district coordinator
Okay.
signs on it, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then there's just some attachments down here that the team came up with really to make sure that everybody understands. So here's the new recognition criteria is laid out for this year, like what Angel talked about. The differences at each level for green ribbon, model, and exemplar, the differences between those from last year to this year. And then some more information about the TFI and how it should really be administered. So these all have various links within these attachments too. So with that being said, the last piece, and if you have any questions at all about that, just get in touch with your regional coordinator. The last piece is, as you know, that goes along with PBIS and Integrated Academic and Behavior Systems state team. We do have, lots of changes happening in our world that we are really pleased to have 7 new members that came over from the Exceptional Children's Division in December. And so you heard about those announcements, and we're very excited to really start the work of an integrated, truly integrated model at the state level for a multi-tiered system of support. So we call this our elevator speech. So basically, this is what we're sharing out right now, and we will always keep you updated as we achieve our milestones for integration. So as Angel had said, across data, systems, and practices is how we try to function. And so in data, within our data group, we're really moving towards an integrated implementation fidelity tool. We're in the beginning stages of that. In practices, we're really trying to integrate professional development that's delivered to LEA teams at the district level to include academic and behavior practices all together. And then in systems, we're really trying to move forward with more efficient and effective coordinator and coach meetings, bringing together those academic and behavioral support folks that are at the district level. So that's just a little snippet of the beginning works of our integration that we're trying to do right now. We're not trying to hide anything, but as we have more information to share, we'll share more details of all of this and the work that's happening. So just know that this integration work has gotten off to a great start. So we're really excited. My beautiful friends.
Just to, as far as logistics for the Southeast group who's listening in, I will make sure that your participant notes are in our shared folder, so you could access those, and those have all the links that Amy went through for the SAM information, and the link that for the newsletter that Angel talked to you about. That'll be there once we have that in place. So just make sure you go into your shared Google folder to find that.
Just thank you so much for all of your hard work. And just for those that did not know, in the North Central, we are offering 2 booster sessions for Module 1. So if you haven't received that email or haven't registered, there still is time to register for those, one on Module 1 and one on our problem-solving model. So we're just asking that you register your team if you all are interested in attending those 2.
Great. And if you need more information about that, you can reach out to Angel or I. I think Angel is the houser of those Eventbrite, so I'd probably reach out to Angel. Okay, so I think that's it for today. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns or comments, please feel free to share them with us. And we apologize we couldn't meet with you live this time. There's some exciting ECATS work going on, so we're excited to be a part of that next week. And hopefully we'll have more great news to bring soon. But we can't wait to hear from you. So thank you and good day.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.